Good evening and welcome to Worldview Exposed. I'm Rachel Maddow, and tonight we bring you a story that until very recently many experts believed was simply not possible. A story that raises urgent questions about global security, military intelligence, and the fragile balance of power in one of the world's most volatile regions. What if I told you that Iran, yes, Iran, may have successfully launched a missile strike targeting what has long been considered one of the most secret and heavily protected United States military installations on Earth? And perhaps even more alarming, what if this operation went undetected, unacknowledged, and largely unknown to the public until now? This is not just another headline. This is a moment that could redefine how nations perceive deterrence, surveillance, and vulnerability. Because if even the most secure military sites are no longer beyond reach, then what does that mean for global stability? And what does it mean for you, for all of us living in a world increasingly shaped by invisible conflicts and silent escalations? To understand the magnitude of what is being alleged, we must begin with the broader context. For decades, tensions between the United States and Iran have simmered just beneath the surface, occasionally erupting into open confrontation. From economic sanctions to cyber warfare, from proxy conflicts across the Middle East to direct military encounters, the relationship has been defined by distrust, strategic rivalry, and moments of near catastrophic escalation. The United States maintains a network of military bases across the region, some publicly known, others deeply classified. These installations serve as critical hubs for intelligence gathering, rapid deployment, and strategic deterrence. Among them are facilities so secretive that even their locations are rarely discussed outside of tightly controlled military circles. These bases are designed to be virtually impenetrable, protected by advanced missile defense systems, electronic surveillance, and layers of operational secrecy. And yet, according to emerging reports and intelligence leaks now being scrutinized by analysts around the world, Iran may have found a way to strike one of these installations. The details remain murky, and official confirmation is, as of now, limited. But what we are learning suggests a level of precision, coordination, and technological capability that challenges long-standing assumptions about Iran's military reach. Sources indicate that the missile launch was not part of a large-scale barrage or a widely publicized retaliation. Instead, it appears to have been a calculated, highly targeted operation, one designed not necessarily to cause maximum destruction, but to send a message that even the most secretive and secure assets of a global superpower are not beyond the scope of its adversaries. Now, let's pause here and consider the implications. If such a strike did occur, how was it executed without triggering immediate detection? Were existing defense systems bypassed, overwhelmed, or simply outmaneuvered? And perhaps most critically, why was this not disclosed to the public in real time? These are the questions that are now echoing through defense departments, intelligence agencies, and diplomatic channels worldwide. In response to these reports, U.S. officials have remained cautious. Some have downplayed the claims, emphasizing that there has been no confirmed breach of critical infrastructure. Others have acknowledged that there are ongoing investigations into unusual activity detected in certain operational zones. Meanwhile, Iranian state-affiliated media has issued statements that are, at best, ambiguous, neither fully confirming nor denying involvement, but strongly hinting at a growing capability to project power beyond previously assumed limits. International reactions have been swift and, in many cases, deeply concerned. Allies of the United States are closely monitoring the situation, seeking clarity while reassessing their own security postures. Regional powers already navigating a complex web of alliances and rivalries are watching for signs of escalation. And global markets, sensitive to even the slightest indication of instability, have shown signs of unease. But beyond the geopolitical chessboard, there's a more immediate and human dimension to this story. Because when tensions rise between nations with advanced military capabilities, the consequences are never confined to military targets alone. They ripple outward, affecting economies, disrupting supply chains, and, in the worst-case scenario, endangering civilian lives. For ordinary people, this means uncertainty. It means questions about energy prices, about regional conflicts expanding, about whether today's silent strike could become tomorrow's open confrontation. It means living in a world where the line between peace and conflict is increasingly blurred. And so we must ask, is this an isolated incident, or is it part of a broader shift in the nature of modern warfare? A shift where secrecy is no longer a guarantee of safety, where technological advancements level the playing field, and where the next major conflict may not begin with a declaration, but with a moment like this: quiet, precise, and initially invisible. Military analysts suggest that if Iran has indeed demonstrated the ability to reach such a target, it could alter strategic calculations across the board. Deterrence relies on the belief that certain actions are too risky to attempt. But if those risks can be mitigated, or if defenses can be circumvented, then the entire framework begins to change. At the same time, it is important to maintain perspective. Information in situations like this evolves rapidly, and not all reports withstand scrutiny. Verification takes time, and in the absence of complete transparency, speculation can sometimes outpace fact. That is why responsible analysis requires both vigilance and restraint. What we do know is this: the possibility alone that a highly classified US base could be targeted in this way is enough to trigger serious concern. It demands answers, not just from governments, but from the systems and assumptions that underpin global security. As we continue to follow this developing story, the world will be watching closely for official confirmations, for satellite imagery, for intelligence assessments, and for any indication of how both nations intend to respond. Will this lead to escalation? Or will it remain a shadow conflict, acknowledged only in whispers and classified briefings? Tonight, we stand at a moment of uncertainty, where the boundaries of what is possible appear to be shifting. And in that uncertainty lies both risk and responsibility, the risk of miscalculation, and the responsibility to seek truth, to remain informed, and to understand the forces shaping our world. I'm Rachel Maddow, and this is Worldview Exposed. Stay with us as we continue to uncover the facts, ask the difficult questions, and bring you the stories that matter most.